All right, guys, Growatt inverter review. Let me start by saying that the Growatt solar inverter is my favorite solar inverter in the whole world. They make a fantastic inverter. Not only that, they also make battery chargers, EV chargers for your Teslas, for your Gittus, Nissan Leafs and stuff like that. They got all of that stuff. Batteries, they do that for all the people that I want a battery. Batteries are so good. Like just the people that ring up and just want a battery. They cater for that. I won't be selling any Growatt batteries or Growatt EV chargers or anything that's too fancy. No one knows how to do it properly. I've even asked Growatt why you're doing it. Oh, everyone's doing it. That's the future. But good luck. Nothing to do with me, and it won't be anything to do with the customers here at the Great Queensland Solar and Lighting as well, because we want everyone to buy something that's true, proven, and working. All that stuff, you can go and get it from Gittus and people like that are pretty woke and sell solar batteries and stuff like that in Brisbane. We don't sell it. We're not like that. Like I said, we just want something reliable. So you may have seen, Growatt's no good. They got real bad rap on the internet and stuff. That is simply because Growatt were around 10 years ago when all the bad stuff was happening. There was just horrendous inverters in 2011, 2012. They've been in the game over 10 years now. Name another solar inverter that's been in the game over 10 years. I'll name some for you. Fronius, I think. They had a horrendous inverter back 10 years ago. But they were European. But they were horrendous. What about Aurora? Era31.com. Fuck, there was heaps of Auroras out there. They were an Italian brand, and they were probably as bad as any inverter you could get, failure after failure. But they were Italian. And then you had SMA, and they were the best, and they've never really made a fault-prone inverter. They were the gods of it. And then they went and took their style and switched it, and then started making them in China without screens. Everyone just put their hands up and went, "Whoa, we're not doing this anymore." And then there was Growatt around 10 years ago, and Growatt were making inverters as good as Aurora, as good as all the other horrendous inverters that you could buy from China back then. Samel, they're all long gone. Another one that I shouldn't mention, Delta were around then. They made once again another mediocre inverter at best, and they're still around. They're still warranting the product from back then, and they've got a new inverter without a screen, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd be plugging them. We'd be pumping them. We'd be pumping out the Deltas if they had a screen on them. Because a lot of our customers, they want the screen. And they know that the Wi-Fi is not very reliable and things like that. And we hate the Wi-Fi too. Because what's happening is the modems are they're too new for the Wi-Fi that the inverter manufacturers... Because inverter manufacturers don't want to really... They're not building a Wi-Fi connectivity device. They're building an inverter which somehow just happens to connect to Wi-Fi. But the thing is, because Wi-Fi on the modems, at least 5 gigahertz channel and everything, it's all gone crazy that the inverter manufacturers can't actually keep up. It's a struggle for them to keep up to try to make their inverter Wi-Fi capable. So that seems to be a problem that Growatt are a bit slack on a bit, but they can be. They've got a screen. A lot of others are as well. But someone like Delta that doesn't have a screen, you've got to really feel for them because they have to get the whole Wi-Fi thing right, because effectively you've got to be able to connect the thing to Wi-Fi. So Growatt, they just make an inverter with a screen. They've been around for 10 years now in Australia. They're very diverse in what they do. Batteries, off-grid systems. They're really big in off-grid all around the world too. Australia's just a small market, and I believe they're number one inverter in the world in terms of just sheer volume. Them and SunGrow, another fantastic inverter. They're as good as SunGrow in my opinion. The only reason why they don't have the price tag, or they can't command the price tag as SunGrow, because SunGrow came out 5 years later, straight into the game with a reliable inverter. They were the first of the Chinese to do it right. Unfortunately, Growatt still have that mark against their name for what they did 10 years ago, just bringing out trash. Anyway, they've had the new inverter that we sell now, the X series, TL-X. They've got the new 10 kilo, the 3-phase series all out. All reliable as anything. I'd happily install it anywhere, and I have done. My parents' house in the middle of Whoop Whoop in New South Wales, threw on a Growy. They are, and they're at the top of the game too with the technology. For example, the 10 kilowatt single phase inverter, the Growatt is definitely one nice piece of gear. It's fantastic, and it does excite me to many levels. I get in a higher level when I'm talking about the 10 kilowatt single phase inverter. And the Fronies, for example, only has the 8.2 kilowatt single phase inverter from many years ago. While it was, cutting edge back then, it's still got nothing on the Growatt now, I believe. And the Growatt you can fit 13 kilowatt on. You can just fit shy of 11 on the Fronius. So Growatt wins on many fronts. Doesn't get the respect it deserves simply because it's still around, and the name's Growatt, and the shitty inverter that they were making 10 years ago, was a Growatt, and has tarnished the name ever since. And they're trying very hard to win that respect back, but they don't care because they've got so much other stuff going on all around the world. Europe, Africa, America, Asia. Australia's just a little tiny nothing to the great guys at Growatt. So, guys, totally recommend Growatt, and Australian office support. Second to none. Excellent people. Excellent inverter. Excellent choice. Get a dog up you.